Of all the teams released in Wixoss's first proper set, Glowing Diva, Team Card Jockey is the one that appeals to me the most. It's most assuredly a visual thing. I like the more confident attitude they exude, while the animal theme gives them a touch of softness. Though I have to admit, Universe's beginning appeals to me mechanically, and No Limit gets main character appeal. Anyway, today I want to talk about Team Card Jockey in their P01 form and how I'd approach the LRIG deck. Today is mostly a thought exercise in evaluating cards. If you'd like to see this video expanded into a budget deck video, say so in the comments. Of course, we start with MC Lion third verse herself. Her Ena gives you a selective +2 from the top 4 cards of your deck, which is all fine and good. A +2 that can give you things you want. Hard to get upset with that. But her main focus is her second ability. For one turn, if MC Lion's attack doesn't deal damage, you can down one of your level 2 assist LRIG to up her. So long as the center LRIG is upped, you can down it to attack again. This is obviously late game as we need 2 level 2 assist LRIG, and because of how it works, it's best for pushing through for game. She gets 3 attacks, if she hits the life cloth she fizzles, but if they're protecting that final point of damage, she'll get guarded, causing her to attack again. Let's move over to Endless Punchline, the piece card for Team Card Jockey. Costs 0 to use, needs your center LRIG at level 3, and 2 assist LRIG at level 1. Your center LRIG can attack while downed, can attack 3 times, and on her first attack that turn, you shuffle your deck, reveal the top card. If it's a level 1 Signy, she can attack 2 less times. If it's a level 2 Signy, she can attack 1 less time. Or in other words, level 1 causes her to fizzle, level 2 causes her to be reduced to 2 attacks from 3. The Diva debut deck has 12 level 1 Signy. This gives her a 30% chance to fizzle. Given you want 2 level 1 Signy in that opening hand, going below 12 seems dicey. You just have to live with that 30% chance to fizzle. But on the upside, with the configuration of the Diva debut deck, you have a 40% chance to hit all 3 attacks and a 30% chance to get only 2. When we get to the main deck, we might be able to strip the deck of level 1 Signy in some way. Good Dig from the Diva debut deck does have the ability to grab 2 level 1 Signy, and there are probably other tools. So with that in mind, I think we're looking at an aggro deck. We want to push through as much damage as possible, as fast as possible. Endless Punchline helps this considerably, as it can deal up to 3 damage in 1 turn alone. Hopefully you've been causing them to guard, then MC Lion can do her job, cleaning up the remaining point of direct damage for game. Let's start with the bunny girl DJ Lovett and her 2 level 1 assist LRIG, Scratch and Scratch ×2. Scratch comes from the Diva debut deck and clears a lane with 10,000 power or less for free. It's a very basic effect, but a good one. But I feel it's better for a mid-range deck. Clear the lane, deal the damage. It can be used first turn, but it's going to result in 1 point of damage per attack. Life Burst can stop the second attack. Good, but I want something faster. DJ Lovett Scratch ×2 costs in 2 ways, but is faster. Her enter costs 1 Ena and a pitch, but she gives a Signy Double Crush. Like Japanese Duel Masters and its Double Breaker, Double Crush hits both life cloth at once. You have 1 lane open naturally on the first turn you can attack. This gets through the 2 damage regardless, and if you don't hit a detrimental life burst, you've got a shield between you and your opponent's Signy. Then MC Lion hits for your 3rd damage, and you're about a third of the way there in 1 turn. One thing I want to bring up quickly is the maths here. Out of 2 life cloth, presuming your opponent has the full 20 cards with the life burst effect they can include, you have just short of a 76% chance to hit a card with life burst. Now some will fizzle, some won't do anything detrimental to you, but it's always worth considering. This is why I think Scratch ×2 is better. The second damage is done the moment your Signy attacks. You don't have to worry about your other Signy being removed from the field, preventing its attack. So from there, DJ Lovett has 3 options for level 2 assist LRIG: Mix, Crossfade, and Beat Jug. DJ Lovett Mix comes in the deck and costs 3 Ena to grow. but in an ideal turn nets you 3 damage. She clears a lane with 8,000 power or less Signy. She gives a Signy Lancer, so it breaks through, and another Assassin, so it bypasses the Signy in front of it. I don't think 3 is expensive for what you're getting, and she is technically the cheapest level 2 assist Lovett. But the chance of hitting Life Cloth rears its head again. Just short of an 89% chance of one of those 3 Life Cloth having a Life Burst effect and stopping one of the other 2. She also has absolutely no defensive value, main phase timing only. I think it's far from a bad card, but we need to talk about the alternatives too. DJ Lovett Crossfade costs 2 to grow and has attack phase timing, but also has a split effect. For just 2, she vanishes a Signy. It's worth it. Stop an attack, clear a lane for next turn. But if you want to pay a further red and 3 colourless, she crushes one of your opponent's Life Cloth. Total 6, but gets you that much closer to winning. Between that opening and endless punchline, she might win you the game. I think the interesting part is that she's fairly evenly split between attack and defense. You aren't going to stop an attack by crushing an opponent's Life Cloth like this, though it might open up one of your lanes via Life Burst, and it will be a column with a Signy in front of it for assured damage to you. The problem is the total cost of 6. That's very late game and a lot of Enna. Not impossible, but there are other things you're going to have to pay for in a game, and Lion wants both assists at level 2 for her effect. DJ Lovett Beat Hub costs only 1 to grow, also has attack phase timing and a split effect. Vanish target Signy with 10,000 or less power. Then you can pay red and 4 colourless to do it again. Still 6 total cost, but far more defensive this time around and a bit more restrictive. Until your opponent has gotten all of their assist LRIG up to level 2, this will very likely hit 2 columns, but it fizzles over time, unlike Crossfade, which is always relevant. Though by the time it fizzles, it's also around the time you probably should have won if you're going pedal to the metal. I think it's also worth considering that VJ Wolfe gives us access to green, and green has Enna ramp as part of its colour identity. Unfortunately, outside of unreliable Life Burst effects, your best bet at ramp are LRIG effects and Musuzaku Phantom Beast, a 2000 power level 2 Signy that Enna charges 1 on attack. Also makes itself a great target, meaning it'll end up in your Enna zone most of the time, netting you 2 Enna total. Hair Phantom Beast is also an option. She has the same on attack ability, but at level 3 she might be a bit slow. So before we choose a level 2 assist LRIG for DJ Lovett, let's look at VJ Wolfe. VJ Wolfe Q comes from the Diva debut deck, and like DJ Lovett's Scratch, she's used for clearing lanes. 0 glow cost, main phase only, and vanishes a Signy with 7,000 or more power. Fine for the starter deck, but I won't beat around the bush. Like DJ Lovett Scratch times 2, you want the level 1 assist LRIG version of VJ Wolfe from the booster pack. VJ Wolfe Laser is also main phase only and costs 0 to grow, but ramps Enna. Enter, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, choose up to 2 cards with the same colour as your center LRIG, and place them into your Enna. Rest go to the bottom of the deck. It's not hard to get a good 83% chance of getting this effect fully off if your deck is 50% the same colour as your center LRIG. So I really wouldn't worry too much about it whiffing. Just keep in mind you probably want over 20 white cards in your deck. The reason Laser is so much more valuable in my opinion is because of the costs incurred by Lovett. 6. Plus the cost of growing level 2 and level 3 Lion, as well as the costs of level 2 assist Wolfe herself. You're going to need ramp to get to where we want to at the pace we want to. VJ Wolfe Sync comes to us from the Diva debut deck, has main phase and attack phase timing, and costs 4 Enna to grow. Oddly for an attack phase timing card, she's entirely defensive. She does not open your opponent up for a retaliatory attack on the following turn. Her enter effect causes you to look at the top card of your Life Cloth, then choose to either shuffle your deck and put the top card of your deck into your Life Cloth, or shuffle the top card of your Life Cloth into your deck, Then place the top 2 cards of your deck into your life cloth. Remove a card without life burst, gain +1 life cloth total. I reckon it's worth 4 Eno, but it's not really helping the game plan. As I said, it's completely defensive. I don't think it's terrible, but I don't think it helps the deck. Maybe when we get to DJ Lovett as a center LRIG, we can return to sync. VJ Wolfe's stream has both main phase and attack phase timing, and a cost of 2 to grow. For 2, you vanish all of your opponent's Signy with 13,000 power or more. 2 for that is a pretty affordable cost, but it's circumstantial as all get out. Till late game where your opponent already has 2 level 2 assist LRIG, you're hitting maybe 1 level 3 Signy. Not that Signy can't hit 13,000 plus due to effects, or level 3 Signy with less than 13,000 power don't exist. But you're relying on your opponent packing certain things and or playing a certain way. VJ Wolfe's stream is affordable, but clearly is a case of you get what you pay for. VJ Wolfe Mirage also has main phase and attack phase timing, making Wolfe 3 for 3. Good for her, and costs 0 to glow. This is because she's modular and each mode costs. On enter, she gives your Signy plus 5,000 power, which isn't terrible offensively. If you know their life burst only works against Signy with less than a certain power, and this bumps them over that, you just removed all risk. Next, for green and 2 colorless, she vanishes a Signy, and for 4, she can target a Signy and negate its next attack. Awkward wording, but fine. Total 7 for this, but it actually has the potential to stop an entire board of Signy and open up a lane for next turn. But that's a lot, and we already have 7 for Lovett at full power, and 3 over MC Lion's second verse and third verse. A total of 20 Ena for everything else you may need Ena for just isn't reasonable, even with ramp. That said, you can choose to use only one of Mirage's modes, and same goes for Lovett. You could choose to only use one fully between the 2 of them. Now we've looked at everything, where does the LRIG deck sit? I think DJ Lovett Scratch ×2 is the obvious choice for level 1 DJ Lovett. Then I'm leaning towards Crossfade for level 2. She clears a column, no questions. Then if you really need to push damage and had a lot of Ena, you can get closer to that victory condition. Laser is the obvious choice for Wolfe with all the Ena we're potentially using. I think Mirage is the better choice of level 2. I don't think much of Stream outside of a meta choice, but the general applications of Mirage are always useful. This isn't to say the other options are bad. We might find space for those cards later on when things evolve, or when we get Lovett and Wolfe third verse, their center LRIG choices. That's actually one thing I really like about Wixoss. The LRIG keep getting new forms, and with each LRIG being able to be both a center LRIG and assist LRIG, you can completely revise your deck with the same pool of cards. You can keep to your favourite characters, but swap out who goes where and have a completely different experience. I believe that is a huge point in Wixoss's favour, and I wish I talked about it in the review. Till next time, this has been Some Gamer Dude, and thanks for watching.